undeniable that Jersey City is becoming a safer city. For example, there were 2,746 less violent crimes in Jersey City last year than there were 15 years ago. That's a 37.5% drop in violent crime. And yet even one crime is still too many. Public safety remains our #1 priority, and I know that these statistics are little consolation to victims, families of victims, and friends of victims of crime out there. So that's why we keep working at this. We've hired more than 250 police officers since I became mayor. And even with that, we still have 136 less police officers now than we did in 1973. But we are not done. With help from the Obama administration, which has promised to adequately fund the COPS program, we will hire even more police officers. And it is my goal to have a force that is 1,000 officers strong in the near future. Last year I announced that we were hiring 30 police officers through Urban Enterprise Zone funding. This year again, we sought authorization from the state to use $1.5 million of UEZ funds to continue to pay the salaries of officers patrolling our commercial areas. This allows us to maintain a strong police presence in our shopping districts without increasing the burden on the taxpayers. It's unacceptable that while 88% of police officers are assigned to patrol, we still do not have enough police presence throughout our city at all times, but we're not done. In addition to keeping our tax rate...
Crime in Jersey City is up from May 19, 2009 until November 30th, 2010. The police commissioner stating Jersey City will work hard on fighting crime. Yet, with 100 victims in 400 days, how can this be possible? In late April, during a routine checkup, a fellow officer spotted a wanted criminal, a known cop killer, which later busted into a full-out brawl and shootout where 30 shots were fired, leaving 2 citizens dead and the cop killer with his girlfriend. Also, Detective Marc, honored and slain officer, became a victim of gun crimes. We honor our heroes. But what happens to the people who can't protect themselves? The youth, like Kwadir Felton, which is one among the 85 teen victimized by gunfire. Whether it came from police or it came from teen on teen, the undetected crime rate is up because many of these crimes go unreported. Reverend Al Sharpton, one of the nationalized civil rights participants, brought valued attention to the level of abuse in Jersey City. The rate of teenage crime is unthinkable in a city of this magnitude, while the mayor continues to proclaim crime is down. Yet, crime is up in Jersey City, but the level of crime continues. Arm is up, and community awareness and activists have been asking this mayor. We need to trust our police officers, but the police officers are not giving us an option. This is not an attack on the police department, yet it's a wake-up call to the level of patronage and political corruption in Jersey City following these recent events with teenage crimes, political crimes that are on the rise, making this city one of the dirtiest cities in the country, with teenage crime going up and undetected, and many of the times unreported, where the number of political crimes are going up at an enormous rate, where political leaders are forcing bribes while the mayor lays off or fire municipal workers, while giving pay raises to his executive chambers so the unions wouldn't come down on him, on his administration. And what we mean by giving raises to political cronies like Kevin Lyons, a $14,000 raise, unions will raise their fees on him, which will cover the rates from the massive amount of layoffs handed down by Jersey City. Deputy Mayor Leona Blandini was first to be convicted on charges. Her lawyer stated that political bribery are not meant for people who take in campaign contributions where they shouldn't be crimes, and his client is innocent of all charges. Leona Blandini was found guilty on taking bribes from Solomon Dweck in New Jersey's largest corruption bust, and the largest in American history. The case was supposed to go into effect when the Westside development, where $66 million in monies from Honeywell will go to helping the development of an apartment building where Blandini was supposed to be the manager of the building. Solomon Dweck forged $20 million from banks to give Team Healy $2.1 million in dispersed campaign contributions for Team Healy. Mayor Healy that year raised $4 million, which made it the largest corruption probe in history, which led to a firestorm of people fighting the city council. City Councilman Mariano Vega, who is considered to be the ringleader of this massive probe, was found guilty of lying to federal informants about taking Dweck's bribe. Vega made a statement that the recall committee was one of the major reasons why he was forced to resign from his post. The people mounted a great victory in their fight with Mayor Healy, yet more people are going to be faced with massive layoffs. Dan Levin, a city activist, called for this job opportunity to replace Mariano Vega, yet his voice went unheard. During a time, news organizations were looking into the level of political patronage by members of this council. Viola Richardson hold 2 pensions, one as a retired disabled police officer and the other as a county worker, where she is getting over $250,000 in pension funds. Well, Nydia Lopez doesn't live in New Jersey, but she has free parking permits and doesn't have to pay taxes in New Jersey, where it leaves Bill Gohan, who is the longest serving member on the council, and his daughter is a board member on the Health Commission that was granted $20 million in health benefits. Yet incumbent council member David Donnelly stated that city layoffs a lot of workers come this January.
Shot budget to fill the gap. We can't continue to do that anymore. We just can't. One of the things that's going to happen in come January, we have no choice. People are going to be laid off, and we have to understand when we lay people off, each of those people have a family, so it's not going to be easy. But layoffs are going to happen. We have no choice. However, I can't promise you that those layoffs alone will fill that budget gap. We need to look at other things. We need to look at possibly the way we use different revenues and the way we we do different things. And abatements are not our only problem.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I joined this team who is determined to recall Mayor Jerramiah Healy because of fiscal issues that played a major concern in one of the largest corruption scandals in American history, where 23 in the scandal came from Jersey City. The members of this committee who are leaders are made up of Marc Larkins, Riaz Wahid, Jason Berg, Esther Whitner, Kim Snyder, John Lynch, Adele Rohina, R.J. Harper, Vincent Panazzoli, and me, Omar Dar. This has been a wonderful experience. Many of the members on this committee don't come from the insider jargons of politics. Many of them are not career politicians or have a history in politics. Many of them have the business capability, and they are concerned about the lack of businesses and teenage crimes on the streets. They are hardened by the lack of a fiscal budget and concerned by the increased spending on political patronage. The mayor has taken this system and turned it into a pay me now or I will destroy you type of government. He's laying off lower level workers while giving staffers raises they don't necessarily need just to settle union requirements. He talks about having open door policies to discuss problems within the city, yet many of the people have found that his doors are never open, rather more likely potentially always closed. And what I say is the people are tired, and they're tired of the level of corruption. So join us in this recall of Mayor Healy.